What's up, y'all? Kyle here. You're watching Driving and Vibing. Today's video is all about how we find free camping. It's a tutorial where we walk you through step by step how we find the most epic sites time and time again, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm excited to be walking you through how we find 95% of the free campsites we stay at by using Campendium, and how this has proven time and again to be the best method for us. Before we get to the tutorial, I need something from you. And what I need from you is for you to know how you want to camp for free. There are so many ways to do it. You can do it in a huge Class A RV with tons of amenities, or you can do it in a car and a tent. There is no right or wrong way. Also, what type of cell connectivity you want is very important. If you don't need any, that's cool too. But in order to find the best free campsite, you're really gonna need to know what camping style is best for you. If you don't know that, you're not gonna be able to find the best site for you. But no matter your method and no matter what your favorite way to camp is, today's video will help you find the best spot by using Campendium. I'm gonna bring you over to my home screen and start walking you through the process. If you wanna skip the research phase and just find the most epic campsites, you can go to the link in the comment section or the description where we're sharing our 20 favorite free campsites in the US.
All right, y'all, so now we are here at the Campendium homepage. This is where we're going to be finding all of our best free campsites today. Now, we're going to start with the very basics. You can see up top here they have a free camping option. This kind of gives you an overview of free camping by state or some of the articles they've written about free camping. That's not what we're going to be looking at today. This is kind of just like if you're browsing and just want to have some fun reading material at home. What we're going to be doing today to find the best free campsites is using their search bar up here. So let's go ahead and dive in with one of the easiest options out there. We're going to be looking for free camping in Quartzsite, Arizona. So let's get that in the toolbar. Type in Quartzsite in, see Quartzsite, Arizona. We'll click on that. And what's going to come up is a lot of camping options. There are so many pins right there in Quartzsite. Right now that is showing us the free camping and the paid camping. So we're going to want to edit that down to only the free camping. We'll go here to price, click on it, you see it's 0 to 200. We'll go ahead and scroll that all the way down to 0, but also click on always show free. That way it'll just remember you in the future to give you those free spots if that's what you're looking for. So before we click on anything else though, let's look at the rest of these drop-down options. We can sort these results by distance, highest rated, or most reviews. These next few drop-down categories are for things that aren't as relevant if we're looking for free camping: public lands, private RV parks, parking and dumping. And then the more filters is really specific to full hookup camping. So let's go back to sort by, because this is the best drop-down option for me when I'm looking for free camping, because I want to find the highest rated campground of all the reviews. Here in Quartzsite we got a lot of options, but once we click on highest rated, it's going to give us in a list down here on this left-hand side of the highest rated campgrounds. Palm Canyon comes in at number 1 with 5 stars and 28 reviews. That's huge on Campendium. I mean, that is a guaranteed successful spot. So we know that's going to work. Let's click on it and look what it shows us on the inside. So what we see at the top is Palm Canyon. It's in the Kofa National Wildlife Refuge. It'll give you a phone number. That's probably going to take you to the Kofa office, and also the website will bring you to a federal website. What I really like though is this GPS coordinate options. You can click on this GPS option and it's going to show you right on the map where that's located. Scroll out a little bit and I can see a detailed location with topography on Google Maps. I can even click on the satellite imagery to get a better sense of what the area is going to look like, as far as if it's going to have growth, if it's going to be desert, if it's going to be mountainous. Right here we can see by the topography, this free campsite is tucked back right against where a small little mountain range begins, and you can see the road from the satellite view, which is always a good sign. And then we can also get directions with this GPS coordinates they give us. So let's say we're looking to come in from Yuma, Arizona. We can get easy directions right to the spot. So pretty nifty that Campendium links that right in their description. And then also on the other side, you can see some max stay info, 14 days, elevation, 2,000 feet. Now, as we get down to the more fun stuff, the pictures here look amazing by the thumbnails. So let's look at these up close. And I mean, looks beautiful. One of the things we love about Campendium as a side note is that so many of our fellow travelers use this site to review. So right here you see the Wonderland Travelers. We met these guys at the Escapers Bash last year. Whenever our friends review a site, take pictures of a site, we know we can really trust those reviews and recommendations. But just scrolling through these pictures, it looks like Palm Canyon is an awesome site. So let's go back to the main Palm Canyon site and see how the reviews work. The rating system is based on 5 different aspects: the access, the location, the cleanliness, site quality, and noise. This is receiving pretty high stars on all of them. And then so importantly is on the right hand side, you see cell coverage. We got Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile are all showing what looks like a usable bar strength. And then you get these nifty little badges on the other side where this site has received the Camper's Choice Award. As we scroll down farther, if a site is this good, reading the reviews can be fun, but it's not necessary to do a deep dive into all 28 reviews. But we can just scroll through and look at the main headline. They got countless suitable sites, awesome boondocking for free, moonlight madness, and desert boondocking at its finest. So it looks like this site has had a lot of success with fellow campers. In addition to the reviews, there's also a blog post section where you can see more in-depth reviews. But the cool thing about the blog post section too is that you can also link videos to it. So if you want to watch a video, you can just scroll down and see if any of these are coming from YouTube, which right here we see YouTube. So we could just click on this link, and now we can watch the YouTube video of the actual site, which is very cool because this way you don't have to read. You can get a great visual beyond just the picture thumbnails that they offer. So that's how you can use the blog post tool. But this search is the easiest of all of them because Quartzsite, Arizona has so many awesome free campsites. So what we're going to do now is put us in the situation where we're going to be looking for a place to park on a long travel day. Say we are on I-10 in the middle of Texas. So to use Campendium in this way, I just type Texas in the toolbar and go to States, Texas. So that brings up the big state of Texas. We're going to say we're on I-10. Let's zoom in and see what we find. So right off the top, we're not seeing a lot of green pins like we saw in Quartzsite. Those green pins signify like public land camping. The purple P's signify overnight parking, and that's what we're seeing a lot of here in Texas. Fortunately though, there is one green spot. So right away, that lone green pin on the interstate is going to say, to me, it's worth looking at. Now, Shriner City Park looks like an awesome option right off the top as opposed to an overnight interstate rest stop. It's got 5-star reviews. We come on down to the cell service section, and this is where you really got to pay attention because it has a lot of T-Mobile, it has a lot of AT&T, but every single Verizon report comes back with 1 bar. Some people saying they're getting voice only. So even though a campsite looks great from the reviews, make sure you check that cell connectivity if that's something you're going to need. Verizon is a really popular network in the US, and this is one of the few campsites that doesn't have the access to it. But that's kind of like a diamond in the rough finding a city park. Let's kind of go more towards West Texas on I-10 and see what we're looking at for free camping. So right here you're going to see a lot of P's. All these again, remember, are overnight parking, And if overnight parking is your only option, you can still find the best solution on Campendium. In this instance, we're going to want to go again to sort by and highest rated. That's going to pull up Marfa Lights Viewing Center. But you can see Marfa Lights Viewing Center is down here towards the bottom. It's not near I-10, which is, in this scenario, the road that we're going to be on. So we're going to pass that one up. But we do see Pecos County Rest Area on I-10, and it does have a lot of high reviews. It's really great to see high reviews on rest areas because they can be more intimidating to camp at. So reading these reviews and seeing the 5 stars can really bring down the anxiety level about doing an overnight camping spot. So we can scan these pictures and just get a sense of what the campsite or what the overnight parking site is like. And it looks pretty nice. It actually looks very new, so that's cool. So even if it's not finding the most epic free campsites, you can still find the best option, whatever your travel day is demanding. Now let's go to the third option, which is what you're going to run into more often than not. And this is trying to find a free campsite at just an everyday sort of location where you would go camping, not a place as popular as Quartzsite. So right here we are in Montrose, Colorado. A lot of awesome camping around here. The Black Canyon Gunnison National Forest is right in this area. So it is a popular spot, but what you're seeing here with all these green pins can be a little misleading. If we hover over a lot of these, you'll see that no reviews, and more with no reviews. So staying at a no review site for us is probably the third or fourth option down on our list. We want to know what we're getting ourselves into and know that we're choosing an awesome campsite. So in a situation like this, we're going to sort by the most reviews. So we're going to want to know that whatever spot we're looking at, it has been camped at multiple times. Montrose County Fairgrounds, now that doesn't sound like an epic camp spot to me, but in the subtitle it does say free dump and potable water, so that's pretty cool. But we're not going to check that one out. We'll look at Black Canyon BLM, much more to our style of camping. But it only has 3 stars. Let's kind of inspect this campground online and see why it has a 3-star rating. I see these pictures and I immediately think that it looks very beautiful, but there must be a reason why it only gets 3 stars. So we'll scroll down and we can check out this overall rating summary and see that the site quality is by far the lowest of all of these sections. And we scroll down a little farther and we see unlevel and extremely windy, amazing views, unlevel sites, nice location, incredible views, super unlevel. So I mean, this is not an anomaly. It seems like the one thing that holds true is that the views are amazing and the sites are unlevel. So it is great to know that information going into it. If you're tent camping and staying at a level site isn't as important for you, this is a huge win. But if you are in a big RV, you know, you're gonna need to be a little level to have an enjoyable stay. So keep those things in consideration. So those are the 3 scenarios I wanted to show you today. Really, the basic easy search like Quartzsite, the interstate search we did in Texas, and then your typical search of an area that's not going to have so many campgrounds that have been used, like this one in Montrose, Colorado. It was about a 50-50 split between the campgrounds that had been stayed at and reviewed and the campgrounds that haven't. Now, let me show you those 2 pro tips I talked about in the beginning. Just as we used Campendium to find the best free campsites, we can kind of reverse that functionality and use Campendium to find the most luxurious and pampered RV resort we can possibly find. So we'll go look in just north of LA in a town called Buellton, California. There we go. It's coming up in cities. Check that box. See how many parks we come across. So, I mean, that's a lot of free camping in the area, but what we're going to do instead of looking for free camping, is we will put this average nightly rate and start it with, say, 40 bucks, see what we come up with. So now, instead of looking at all the free campsites, we've immediately limited this search to the most high-end sites in terms of price. But now we can go ahead and sort this by highest rated as well. So this makes us have two different categories we're filtering: 40 bucks and above, and the highest rated of those. Flying Flags RV Resort is the one. So just like we did with the free campsites, we can now check out this resort and find the best resort in the area in terms of ratings and price. The next insider tip I want to show you is that you got to take reviews with a grain of salt. Let's go to Sedona, Arizona. This is an extremely popular place, obviously, to go camping. And while there are a decent amount of free campsites around, they're very heavily traveled. So that may affect the reviews. Let's go to 0, and we'll hit this, always show free, see what pops up. And we'll go to the main drag 525. This is a spot we camped at, and even on this spot you can see the 4x4 signifier, which we found is definitely not always true. But whenever you do see that signifier, it's good to go read the reviews to check what other people have said about it in regards to the access. So we're starting with 5-star reviews, 4-star reviews, 4 stars, 4 stars, and then we see this 1-star review. And I know in this day and age, almost everyone has become savvy with spotting reviews and the credibility of them. Just because it's 1 star doesn't mean it's not credible, but the fact that the title is scary, puts that emotion into it and makes me think it might be a little dramatic. Then I can even go over to the left, see that BR reviewed it, and that BR only has 1 review. This is his only review. So with that whole picture, I really can disregard this review and say one guy with 1 review with 1 star and calls it scary, and then all these other 4 and 5-star reviews. Now we do see this 2-star review though. Here's another good example. 2-star, Sarah reviewed this site. In this scenario, she has 23 reviews, so we can see how we feel about the credibility of those reviews. We'll click on her profile, and that'll bring us to all of her reviews. You can see the top one, extremely disappointing, 2 stars. Next one, 5 stars in waterfront camping. But then you go down farther and see 3 stars, May. 3 stars, lots of snowbirds. 2 stars, crowded but free. 2 stars, wouldn't stay here longer than 3 stars, wouldn't stay here longer than 1 night. So really, I think that her reviews seem credible, but they do lean to the side of being a little pessimistic. So we can always take that into consideration whenever we review this whole site. We stayed here, reviewed it, and can agree with Sarah's critique that it was crowded. There's no doubt about it, it's a crowded site. So that's the second insider tip, is diving deeper into the reviewers' reviews in kind of their pattern of the way they review sites.
Thank you so much for joining me here today, guys. I hope you were able to take something away from that tutorial. Let me know in the comments below if you have used Campendium before, or if it's your go-to site. And if you want to see our 20 favorite free campsites in the US, remember to check that link out in the description or the comment section. Thanks again for watching this with us today. See you next time, guys. Later on.